Orla Guerin. Orla, first of all, do you have any further news on what the Russians are calling a collision?
Well, the information is scant, Kirsty, as it has been throughout the day. The only firm claim we've had made came from the commander of the Russian Navy, who said earlier on today that the submarine bore the signs of what he described as a major and serious collision. That was embellished later on by naval sources to suggest a collision with a foreign submersible vessel in the area. The Pentagon has been saying that it had a surface monitoring ship in the area, as would be usual when the Russians were carrying out a major air and sea exercise. But a Pentagon spokesman said there was no indication whatsoever that an American submarine had been involved in the incident.
Do you have any update on what we are hearing here about the seriousness of the situation for the sailors tonight?
Well, there's no firm information coming from naval sources, but our guess is that the situation is becoming very critical. Western military analysts had been suggesting earlier on in the day that if no breakthrough came within 48 hours, that the crew would be in a very grave situation indeed. There's still no firm indication about the oxygen supply on board. We have had Russian television reporting tonight within the past hour or so that oxygen supplies had been brought on board using diving bell technology, but it's not clear how long these will last and whether or not it will be possible to replenish them again. So there are grave concerns for the safety of the men on board, particularly since we don't know when or if any attempt at evacuation is going to be made.
Well, finally, Orla, as Mark Urban was saying, there are submarines available to help with an evacuation procedure, but none has been asked for. Why is this?
I think many will be wondering about that. It would seem obvious that the Russians don't have the most up-to-date rescue technology. That's what Russian sources have been telling us today, that they don't have the most advanced or most sophisticated rescue vessels. And it would seem that there's an obvious need to call in help from outside. But as far as we know tonight, that still has not been done, even though the hours are ticking away.
Orla Guerin, thank you very much indeed. Well, a little earlier I spoke to Alexander Nikitin, a former Russian nuclear submarine engineer who was put on trial in his home country after writing a highly critical report on safety in the Russian Navy. I asked him how the trapped sailors might be saved.
Я не знаю, каковы планы спасательной команды.
It depends on what plans the rescue team have. I do not know what they want to save. Either they want to save the crew together with the submarine, or first the crew, and then raise the submarine. This all depends on the rescue team and on their plans. But nevertheless, I think one should think first of people and the crew. Although a submarine is costly, people's lives are dearer.
I understand from among the 105 crew there were 52 officers. Is that not rather unusual?
No, this is a normal crew for this submarine. It is a crew made up of permanent members of staff.
We understand that the submarine is lying in water in excess of 300 feet. Would it be possible for the crew to evacuate at that depth?
Yes, technically it is possible, but it really depends on the rescue team, whether they are equipped to do this.
We are now hearing, though, that there may be dead sailors on board as a result of what we're hearing was a collision. Now, Russian services are saying this could be with a foreign vessel. Is that likely on maneuvers?
I think that if there has been a collision with a foreign ship, then the foreign ship should be searched for, along with this submarine.
The Russians are saying that there are no nuclear warheads on board, but then they have said that before in other situations and there were proved to be nuclear warheads on board. What might your assessment be?
I know that it is a state secret as to whether or not there are nuclear weapons on board, and I think for the moment this secret is not being revealed. But it is certainly possible that there are no nuclear weapons on board.
Also, we understand that although there are many people standing by from other countries to help, Russia has not as yet had any foreign help. Is it possible it won't take foreign help for fear of secrets being discovered?
Ну, в общем-то, всегда так и происходило.
Generally, it has always been the case that when a ship sank, Russia and the Soviet Union turned down assistance in order to maintain secrecy. And I think that's what's happening in this case.
Also, we understand that there is only money for 10% of the repairs and parts needed for the Russian Navy. Could it be that this submarine was in need of a lot of work?
I think that this is one of the problems, although there are other difficulties. There is the problem of the crew being paid properly, and the problem of training them. And all this together has led to the crisis with which we are faced today.
Well, I'm joined now from Oslo by Per Strand, who's the Director General of the Norwegian Radiation Protection Authority. Mr. Strand, I understand that you've had a crisis meeting today about the possible radiation danger. What was decided and what was discussed?
Of course, taking into consideration the closeness to Norway, first of all, after the first priority is, of course, for the sailors which are in danger, but we are also then looking into the possibility that it can have been any releases of radioactive matters to the environment. Of course, the information has been a little bit different during the day from the Russian side. So in Norway, we have then initiated quite an intensive monitoring program. However, so far, the results show no indication of any releases in connection to this accident.
Are the chances of releases likely to be increased if the sub is salvaged?
Yes, first of all, the first priority and a major problem could have been in the situation when it can have been releases from the reactor to the air and then air transport. When it's later this afternoon came some information that it has been a collision, we are of course very eager to understand more about what could have happened in such a collision and the possibility of any releases from the reactor. But again, I must stress that all the data shows no releases, all the information so far shows no releases either to the water or to the air. However,
what is your experience of Russian accidents in the past?
Yeah, this is, it has happened before, of course. It has been mentioned the Komsomolets accident in '89, but it was also other accident during that year which had led to some releases. So this is not a situation which is come completely unexpected on us.
And although the Russians are claiming that there are no nuclear warheads on board, that cannot be verified at the moment. Nobody knows the truth of it.
Yeah, no, that may be correct. However, that is only a problem on the long term. The short term, it's of course what happened during the accident and potential releases from the reactor, which are the important things.
To what extent is the condition of the Navy a worry if this happens to a submarine, if it's not a collision that's only 5 years old?
When it comes, sorry, I didn't catch your questions there.
If it's not a collision, then could it be the condition of the submarine that has caused this accident?
Yeah, in any case, it's extremely important to get more knowledge about what happened and what the reason for this. So the point you make there is very important, and of course we are continuously trying to get more information on that issue, not only because of this accident, but also, I mean, with other potential accidents.
We know, of course, at the moment that the Russians want to do this by themselves, but have you been in contact with the Russians yourself?
Yeah, our rescue organization is of course, in continuously contact with the Russian side, but so far, from my knowledge, it has not been asked for any support from the Norwegian side.
But are you actually monitoring on site yourselves tonight and tomorrow?
We are the first priority is of course monitoring the air, and of course that is continuously monitoring, and also as close as possible to the site is our goal to do monitoring, yes.
Per Strand, thank you very much indeed.